Yes.
Man, how's life out there in Cali, man?
Cali's good. Right now I'm in North Carolina right now for work, but everything's pretty much shut down out there though, dude. Movie theaters and like everybody has on a mask. You know, California's like all about that healthy type vibe going on. Like I even saw like a mask on a dog, but
man, go ahead, man. I ain't listening to you.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, I told you.
But nah, they take it seriously out there. So stuff closed down but it is what it is. You know, homeschooling kids and stuff like that. It's all this is an experience. I tell you.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Success in Black and White.
The podcast. We are back one more again. We are back one more again.
We are. We're not alone.
Oh, yeah. We got another guest with us.
We love the guest.
Yeah,
next.
we love the guest.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one.
I know. I am too.
Y'all, we got a funny person. We got a comedian on here.
A comedian.
but also as a person, and we want to talk to him about just his experiences in his world and kind of everything that's going on in the world and how he balances everything. And I'm looking forward to this conversation. So once again, you know, we go way back. I don't want to say how many years because
No, don't say that.
Don't say that.
I'm still auditioning for things. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, don't say. I won't say how many years, but we go. We go back a little bit. How about I say it like that?
A little bit. You know, I'm still going for like 30, dude. Like I can pull it off, so it's good.
You still doing the 30, huh?
I can. You know what? When I tell people how old I am for real, they don't believe it, so I just roll with it. They don't. I'd be like, "You're 41." Like, yeah.
Hey, well, that's better you than me, man. I really can't get away with it, especially if my hair start growing.
Oh yeah. See, I don't even know what I'm doing with this. I just know it stayed. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna rock this and just see what happens. But yeah, man, it's just
I like it.
Still here.
Does it add to your stage presence?
Somewhat. You know, I'm always trying to set myself apart and be different. So I really want to shave the beard, keep the hair, and just have like a mustache.
Oh,
yeah. But my wife is like, don't do that. I'm like, I just want to look like an 80s cop or something like that.
Oh,
I love it.
You definitely set yourself apart, man.
Yes, you
do. Doing something like that. My God. So let's do this. Let's first of all, let's introduce the people to you, and we're going to let you do that in your own way, your own voice.
Yes. So
tell us about you, man. Tell us who you are. You know, who is EL? That's what we want to know.
Introduction? Well, E.L. Smith, you know, world famous comedian. No, just you see my Twitter? Comedian, trying to kind of climbing that comedy ladder. Been on Amazon. I got like a couple of jokes that play on XM satellite radio. Did like a couple of commercials, and
Look at you being all humble.
You know, I saw one of his commercials, right? And it took me right back to the one when he was changing the diaper.
Oh yeah.
Man, the one he was doing the little diaper change. He thought, I ain't got this. Oh.
Nah, that was a good day, man. Good day. Booked that commercial. Great people, great guys. They was treating me like really nice because I guess I was like the main person. It was out there for like almost 8 hours. So all that you see is we're out there for like 8 hours. So
what? Just for that little, I mean, it was
so
not little, but it was like 30 minutes
clip.
or something.
I know. They kept
30 seconds.
making us do it over again, do it differently, hold it this way, hold it that way. The baby's crying, so we got to stop and all this type of stuff. And it was a good. And we did it like on some off random road, so they had all the equipment out there and like all the lights. And it was funny. This guy was riding by on his bike, and he just started filming. While we were like, he's like 3 feet away. He just took out his camera, just started filming. And they were like, sir, you can't do it. He's like, it's a free country. I can do whatever I want. And he just stood there and just filmed us while we were trying to like work. And people were like, this guy.
Oh my goodness.
I love it. I think it's funny. Wait, so give us the background. First of all, you two know each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we need to figure out how
we know
Daryl
each other?
knows a famous person.
Yeah.
And then I want to know, like, what is your journey? Why did you pick comedy, and how did you get involved? And like, now you're on Amazon and XM satellite radio, like you're all over. You've got commercials. Like, I want to know how did this happen?
Well, first of all, me and Daryl, we did some time together. So, what? 3 years, 5 years? That blow up your spot?
Oh my gosh! For real, this what we about to do. This what we about to do.
We both to FSU, and we both did the same major. We were like, we were a little spec in our class, and we kind of hung it together. I think it was you, me, John, and I forget this guy's name, but he always wore those Jordans. Jen,
who?
The Asian guy.
Oh yeah, Chen, yeah.
Chen, yeah. We used to kind of like all hang out together. We used to hang out with everybody else, but we used to kind of like stick together.
That little crew. We was the, like you said, the little diversity.
The diversity section. But everybody in the class was cool though. Everybody was cool. Even the teachers were pretty cool. And so that's how we came up in FSU. From West Palm Beach. How did I get into comedy? Started with a girl. Everything always starts with a girl, right? This is so.
Come on, man.
It started with the girl. So it was this girl I liked, right? And this is when I just got out of high school, and I'm at community college, and I remember her from high school. She was like a grade up, but she was like really, really pretty in my eyes. She was really pretty. So I was like, all right, what can I do with this girl that's going to be like different and exciting? Like, I don't want to say you want to go out to dinner or anything like that. I said, you know what? I know. I'm going to ask her to a comedy show. So I bought like 2 tickets to see D.L. Hughley, West Palm Beach Improv. I've already bought the tickets. I went up to her. I was like, you want to go to a comedy show? She was like, no. She was like, I'm good. And I already like bought these tickets. So I was like, damn. So I took this girl, the older friend of mine. We both went first time at the comedy club, so I didn't know any better. And like we set it up at the front row of a D.L. Hughley show, and I had braces, and this dude just tore into me. He was talking about everybody in the front row, but he was just going like in, and I was like, this is so funny and so cool. And so when it was over, I was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do stand-up comedy. So I wish I would have gotten into it earlier and stuff like that, but I was like, I'm gonna try to do that. So got to Tallahassee and started trying to do it there, which it was a small college town, so there's not really anything really happening there. But I don't know if do you guys watch The Daily Show with Trevor Noah?
Mm-hmm.
You know Roy Wood Jr.?
Mm.
He's like one of the newscasters on the Daily Show.
Okay.
He's the kind of older, kind of your complexion, Daryl. But anyway, he went to FSU.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
He went to FSU. He went to FAMU.
Yeah, he went. Hold on. What you meant, like my complexion?
Like, look at. He's a little bit lighter than me. He's like your complexion. I'm trying to jog your memory of what he looks like.
Oh,
like if you've seen him on, he's like all on TV and everywhere though.
Okay, I just probably not by name. If I saw his face, I probably would be like, oh yeah. Roy Wood Jr. Okay.
He has like 2 Comedy Central specials and.
Yes. I'm with you. It took a second.
And he's on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. Yeah, he went to FAMU. So it was a student contest at FSU, and I entered the student contest, and he was one of the people there, and I saw him like from a comedy show before. And I went up to him, hey man, you're a comedian. I'm like, I want to be a comedian too. And he kind of like showed me some things, and then he kind of got me like some of my first things in Tallahassee. Tallahassee used to have a comedy club on Monroe Street at the Ramada Inn. It used to be called the Comedy Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so they stopped bringing in MCs, so people to host the show like every week. So me and this other guy, they asked us if we wanted to host it, and by that time Roy Wood Jr. graduated and he left. So me and this other guy hosted there for like a year and a half every other weekend. So I would do one weekend, he would do the next weekend, and I did that like for a year and a half, and like slowly like just gotten better and talking to people, because those are people who come. It's not like an open mic when people just sign a list and just show up, it's like these are paying people, so you gotta like watch what you say, and then a lot of times they wanted you to be like the clean person because you're hosting the show, so you couldn't really talk about things and you couldn't really get into like politics and all that stuff. So I kind of came up like just being like almost clean, not like church clean, but like I'm not gonna say anything crazy on stage, and that's just my style. And like that actually like opened up a lot of doors for me and stuff like that. So did it in Tallahassee, moved to Tampa, did it there, and I was doing it on the weekends, like when you saw me and stuff, and like in Melbourne. But I was just like, it was just pocket money. It was like maybe $300 a weekend, and like I saw guys who were like at that time like 40 years older than me doing the same as that thing I was doing. Like, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. I can't keep doing this in the bars, and no, I'm good. So I kind of quit. Moved up to North Carolina with my wife because she had like a business opportunity. Did that for like 4 years, and I still had that comedy itch, and like it was nothing really going on in North Carolina and stuff like that. So one day she sold her business. So when she sold her business, she kind of met me at a comedy club and stuff like that. So when she sold her business, she was like, why are we still in North Carolina? Because we didn't really know anybody. So we literally like packed up the car, like put the kids in the car, sold the rest of the stuff, and like just drove out to California and got a spot. And I just started just hitting the pavement, man, with it. So here I am 4 years later.
Awesome.
I remember when that whole little thing happened. I remember when you went out there and stuff, because we had probably talked a little bit, and I was like, yo, what's up, man? What's going on? And you told me that you was going out there, and like you was like, I'm about to do this. And I was like, all right, that's what's up. I remember we had that conversation.
Yeah, and I will tell you, the time that I've been here in LA, I've gotten more opportunities and more things that happen for me than all the times I was doing it anywhere else. So here in New York is definitely the place. If you're trying to do stuff like this, it's just like I did the commercial, like auditioned like for Blackish, like a small role. I didn't get it. I auditioned for that. I auditioned for this show that used to be on ABC called The Mayor. It doesn't come on anymore, but I auditioned for that. Got a commercial agent. I just signed with a college agency, and just trying to make something happen.
Yes.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So I know you went and saw DL like in person, and that's what kind of sparked everything. Like, who are your role models? Like, who are your role models? Who do you like? I don't want to say. Yeah, I don't want to say like you take your style after or whatever. Like, who are your role models in the game?
Okay, role models in comedy. I have role models, and then I have people I like as comedians.
Let's do it this way. Tell me who your role models are in the game.
Okay.
And then if you want to come back out and tell me who your other role models are, you can do that too.
All right. I like Patrice O'Neal, rest in peace, Patrice. And I like him because he was just raw, funny, and just like spontaneous, and he's like my number one. Him, Bill Burr. I like Bill Burr. I like Daniel Tosh because he's like very sarcastic, funny with it. Of course, I like Dave Chappelle because Dave Chappelle is just Dave Chappelle. And then I'm gonna end it with I like a lot of people, but also I'm gonna end it with Robin Harris. It's kind of old school from House Party, Rob, the dad from House Party. Yeah, you got to see his stand up. His stand up just reminds me of like an old black man, and I think that style is just so funny. Like, because I know people like that. Just like, just like it's just funny to me, and he reminds me of my dad. So he's a funny dude. So those are my top 5 people in comedy. I try to I just try to be myself though. I don't try to be like anybody else or anybody else's style, because a lot of times a crowd can know when you're like not being like authentic and like being yourself, and they kind of know when you're kind of like putting on a show. So it's kind of like you just have to just be who you are and just portray who you are, and just if you fumble over words, it's okay, because you're just like having a conversation. That's how I treat the comedy. Like, I'm having a conversation with somebody I knew for 20 years. So I'm talking to my friend. Like, I don't even notice these other people. So if you notice all that, then you'll be nervous because you don't know these people and they're strangers and all these things. But if you're talking to somebody you knew for 20 years, it's nothing to be nervous, scared, or intimidated about. So that's how I look at it.
I'm gonna tell you something, babe. I'm gonna tell you something about him. And you actually got a little taste of it before we got on. It's like his delivery, right? Yeah, he's real, like he real chill, and he like got that little sarcastic like twist to it. Like he can tell you something, and like if you don't know him, you'll believe it. But if you know him, he'll make you almost believe it, even though you know it's not true. and he's been like that, and even like, you know, when we was in college and stuff, and just hanging out with him and just talking to him and stuff, and he'll just say something, and you'll almost be like is he for, but like he could be for real right now. Oh, man. Hey, tell us how, like, mama them and your peoples them, like when they find out you like want to do this, what was the response? Because if I go to the crib and tell my mom them like, hey, I'm about to go be a comedian, y'all, they gonna like be like, come here real quick, get real close. Not.
He been saying to me for the past week, hey, I think I can do this. I think I can do comedy. And I'm like,
you can do it, dude, if you think you can. I mean, you know, my mom wouldn't say, because my mom, she doesn't care. As long as I'm not doing anything bad, she's cool. She's good. But, you know, people will always say, like, oh, my cousins and stuff, you're not funny. You're not, you know, that type of, like, that discouragement. Like, oh, you're not funny. I'm funny. They're like, really? Sit down. But people won't believe it because, you know, I'm kind of quiet sometimes to myself, and I'm not really, like, boisterous. Like, a job I had before, I would invite people to a comedy show, and they would say, wait a minute, you're a comedian? You why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet? I'm like, this is work. Like, I'm not gonna kick in the door and be like, oh, who wants, like, I'm at work. Like, I'm not 24/7, man. Like, yeah, I'm a comedian. But, you know, at the end of the day, you get one life, dude. You get one life, so you just gotta do it, you know? Just do it. You got about 80 years, give or take a couple, and just get out, just, you know, just gotta have fun, man. You gotta live in the moment and just do things. And I recently listened to Kevin Hart's book. He has a that book, I Can't Make This Shit Up. I listened to it on Audible, and he's the one narrating it, so it's like really good. And it's Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart, so he's like, stop. He's doing all that type of stuff. So, and it's a really inspirational book about how he got started in comedy. And he's not telling you how he got started. He's just basically telling you from the day he was born to where he is now. He's just telling his story, and you can see slowly. But it came sometimes in his life where he had to make those tough decisions. Like, do I want to do this because this, you know, fulfills me and stuff like that, and having a conversation with his mom, and his mom being like, you got a year to do something with it. If not, you know, you shouldn't be doing it. But, you know, who doesn't want to get paid lots of money to have fun and make people laugh? That's how I look at it. So, you know, and it's my life. I'm going to do what I want anyway. So I don't care what people think.
We have Kevin Hart's book.
I'm trying to get on his tip though. Yeah. I'm trying to get the Audible. She actually bought the book.
Did buy the book because I read. I'm a reader. I'm like a page turner reader.
That's a good thing.
I can't read a book.
No, it's 2020. I'm not. No, I pop it in 13 hours, kill it like in a month or something. So he actually got another book that I'm listening to right now on Audible called what is it? Something. I don't know. It's only like a 5-hour book, so I'm almost finished with that. But then I just listened to this book, then it took me down a road. So I just bought like a couple of other comedians' books and just listened to their stories about what they did and what they had to do. And it all boils down to just taking a risk and like being uncomfortable with not being comfortable. So, you know, I'm already halfway in with not like being uncomfortable. So I just might as well just keep going because I already did things that made me say, why did I do that? Why did I do that? But
what kind of things?
Like, you know, just different like things like, for instance, no, when I was in North Carolina, living good, doing good, I literally, you know, said, you know, adios to like part of my income just to move and to pursue something that didn't have any income. So that's a big risk. So it's then, especially with kids, but it's like, I just know, I mean, I know I can do it. So like, I really know I can do it. And just being out there and seeing the people, it was definitely worth it. So.
How often people ask you? Did you have a question?
Yeah, but you go.
Okay, don't forget where you're going. How often people ask you to tell them a joke? I just want to know that.
They used to do that a lot, but now that I hang out with mostly comedians, nobody does that. But like, you know what they do? You know what they do? That's 10 times worse. They try to slip their jokes into normal conversation with you, and you be like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. And they're like, so I took over to my house, right? I'm like, whatever, man. But nobody does. Like, older people in my family do that stuff. I just walk away though. Like, that telling you know what, this is not a circus act. Get out of here. Like, I hate when people do that, but I don't even acknowledge that stuff, man. I don't.
Let me cross that off on our list. Do not ask him to tell us a joke. No. Go ahead. What you was going to say?
Well, I want to know. I mean, this was on our list of questions, but I'm really curious because you've gotten to do some really cool things and just like the life experiences you've had. I want to know, what is the most memorable moment that you've had, like be it on stage or like in your comedic lifetime, most memorable moment?
Most memorable one, I had two, but I try to like, so when things happen to me, I internalize it and I take it for what it is, but then I look for, like, it's almost like I look for something better and bigger. So now it's just like, yeah, I did that, but they are memorable. So like when I first went out to LA, I was on a show and I was getting ready to go on stage, and right before I get ready to go on stage, Arsenio Hall came, and like they just threw him on stage, and like he went up and he was Arsenio Hall, and they liked him, and of course they cheered because it was Arsenio Hall, and so he did like 15 minutes or so, and then he did that. He got in his car and he left, and then after that they're like, oh, well, the heck was E.O. Smith, and I have to follow that. It's like some random black guy. I'm like, all right, but it went really good, and I did 20 minutes, and I killed it, and then that was pretty cool seeing him. I would have got a picture with him because my mom loves him. She used to watch that show all the time. And then the other memorable moment in comedy is it's a show in LA called Chocolate Sundays. It's an urban show. As you can tell,
all right.
with the name Chocolate Sundays. All right. But it's a mixed crowd of people though. But this show. First of all, the tickets don't cost any money. You just have to reserve the tickets. And it's a 2-drink minimum, so it's always packed. And it's at the Laugh Factory. Mm-hmm. And this, the Laugh Factory is like world famous. Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, all those people. Like, and then Chocolate Sundays, when it started out, it had like people like Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, and all those type of people on it and stuff like that. And like celebrities used to come, like Ludacris, and people used to be in the background. They don't come too much anymore, but they used to come to this show to see people. And it's always packed. So this is the second time doing it. The first time went good, but the second time went like amazing. So I'm doing this show. I'm auditioning for it. So they only give me 3 minutes. And so I tell my wife, I said, you need to come. And she's like, all right, I'm going to be there. It starts at 8. She gets there like 7:45 and they're already sold out. Like she can't. So I had to sneak her in, and I like, you got to sit up at the balcony. It's packed wall to wall full of people. And I killed it, man. It was so good. It felt so good to do that in front of all those people like that. It felt so good. And like the producer who books the show, her dad was with her. And then the door guy was telling me that her dad was like ranting and raving about me and stuff like that. Like, you should put that guy back on. And like people were coming up to me after the show and shaking my hand and wanting to take pictures all for 3 minutes. And I was like, okay, all right. I even went to the after party after that. I'm like, oh, I'm staying out tonight. So, but that was a good moment. And then that actually happened in March. And then the following week, COVID happened. So it's like, yeah. But that was a memorable moment because that show is pretty. And then it's also a urban show. It's a mixed crowd, but it's still like, it's really like urban. And like those are like some of the hardest rooms to do. When people it's almost like Def Jam. It's not that bad, but it can be that bad. Like I seen people go up there and like they don't boo you, but staring at you with the blank stare, that's almost worse because there's no reaction whatsoever. And like, and they want to laugh, like, but you got to bring it. You can't be corny. you just gotta be like, I don't know. So just to go up there and just shut it down like that was a memorable moment. So I'm still living on that a little bit. But
that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I want to do this. So I always reference you in any like diversity. I'm serious. I'm gonna tell you in a second, and you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Anytime I'm doing any type of diversity and inclusive workshops or trainings, I always reference you, but I butcher your joke, right? The one about when you're traveling through Alabama and
I don't even tell that joke anymore.
oh my gosh, I butcher it every time, but I reference it every single diversity inclusive training that I do or I lead or I'm a part of. I always find a way to include that joke. And
I appreciate that, man.
I butcher it because I don't tell it like you do, but people understand and they laugh so hard at it. And I'm like, it ain't my joke. I ain't even telling it the right way. Funny.
Wait, I want to hear the joke.
What? You haven't heard it?
No.
Remember we said we ain't gonna ask him to do it.
No, I'll tell it because I don't tell that joke.
You don't tell that one no more?
Okay, good. You tell it so he don't butcher it. Maybe he can learn it.
I'm talking about I butcher it, but I always reference it and people think it's the most funny thing.
I haven't heard it.
Really?
I always sneak it in.
I guess I told it so much that now I hear it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that one anymore.
Think about this though. When you doing like some type of diversity training or workshop.
No, I can see how it works though.
No, it worked for me. I'm like, yeah, I got the attention. I got him. I'm like, appreciate you, EL. Like,
oh, man, I got a joke now that's kind of similar to that. That's way better than that one, dude.
Okay, let's hear the better one then.
What?
It's way better than
material that he can steal from you.
What?
And I kind of adapted to right now. So I say, anybody still working? Anybody out there still have a job? And I was like, man, it's crazy because I just lost my job, right? I lost my job. And the crazy thing about it is that I got a promotion. And my boss, he wanted to celebrate. And he wanted to take us to this place. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called like Soup Plantation. I'm like, nah, I'm not getting out of the car. Soup Plantation? I don't want anything to do with the word plantation. Like, this shirt is cotton free. Like, I don't want anything to do. Like, established 1865? Really? Nah, I'm good. Like, what is they don't give you your, like, there's no birthday song. They give you your freedom? Like, I don't want Soup Plantation. And he's like, man, stop tripping, man. Stop tripping. They got so many different soups you can pick from. I'm like, pick. I'm not picking anything. Days are over with, dude. And he's like, man, forget that, man. Well, just go to Cracker Barrel. Like, Cracker Barrel? You ever walk into a Cracker Barrel and you look around, you be like, yep, this is where racism was created, right here in this store. With that 1920s candy, I'm good. I'm good. Even the wood, you're walking on the wood floor and it's like, like, the wood racist too? Like, what's? So, yeah, that's been replaced.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, all right. I ain't gonna bother that one. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna just stick with what I know.
Stick with the one. Yeah, you use it.
I'm not gonna bother that one. We gotta get our composure right back. Come on now, we gotta be professionals. You know what I'm saying? We do recording.
I'm professional.
Nah, I'm not gonna bother that one. I'm gonna stick with the other one. I like the way that I present the other one. That's
now
you got to tell how you present.
No, the delivery that he just did. I got to work on my delivery if I'm gonna do that one. The other one, I can fumble through it a little bit and they'll still get it like at the end. You know, cause I skip a whole bunch, not on purpose, but I don't, you know. But you ain't never heard me tell the joke about driving through Alabama.
I thought that was a real story.
It could be. That's
Hold on, do it real quick, man. Do it real quick. This is the last one. You remember?
Yeah. So I'd be like, I think I said like comedy's hard. You know, comedy's not easy. You know, you have to travel. You know, one time I had to travel to Jackson, Mississippi, and I picked some random person in the audience, and I was like, sir, like somebody who's not black, and I'd be like, sir, you ever had to drive through Jackson, Mississippi, 9 o'clock as a black man? Like, it's scary. It's terrible. And like, especially when you're driving along and you see a sign that says Civil War reenactment 2 miles that way. You're like, I hope they don't need an extra for that. And I don't want to play that part. So, but you pull up to the Walmart and you see the guys with the Confederate hats on, the Confederate shirts. I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting out of the car. I just made that decision. Oh, Walmart has a drive-through. I'm not getting out the car. I need to see another minority, not even another black. I need to see like a Chinese restaurant, somebody cutting grass or something. I need to see something else. Like I'm not getting out the car. But then you see like one random black guy like walks amongst them. I'm like, all right, cool. I hope they don't do anything to Tyrone. I hope they don't do anything to Deron because I'm not stopping. I'm gonna blow the horn and keep going. Like I come back for you, Deron, but I'm not stopping. But they're like shaking his hand, giving him high fives and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. All right, cool. And then I see like another black guy, another black guy, and another black guy. I'm like, oh man, I hope these dudes don't rob me, man. I hope I just gonna lock my doors.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, I don't
you don't do that though. That's the one.
That's a good. That's so relevant right now.
That is. That's the
it's
one.
So
and then I go right into my little training.
Really?
Time to unpack some stuff that you have. You know?
Yeah, I don't do that with them. You know that people moan something. They moan at that last part. I got a couple of moans at that. So I was like, yeah, all right. All right. I mean, I can say it. I'm black. I can say it. But they still moan. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So comedy is what people don't realize is like comedy is offensive though. All comedy is offensive because you're making fun of something. You're making fun of yourself, the world, outside world, your family. You're making fun, and it's not only it only is funny when you get to that line, but you don't cross the line. You just get really close. And, you know, sometimes people go over the line, but it's not intentional. You know, like the goal is to make it funny. So I try to, when I say a joke, I try to keep it really universal, and I don't want to offend anybody because people are paying money, but it's kind of hard not to, but I kind of like try to, if I could say it and it still be funny and I can change it around, I'd rather do that because I have another joke I say where, oh man, I don't know. Do you guys want to hear it or no?
What? Yes. Hey, bring it.
It's our own comedy special show.
Hey,
We're
I'm
just
telling you, our listeners and our viewers, man, they are. I'm telling you, I already feel like they are going to enjoy this.
All right. So I have a joke where I'm at the comedy club and I was like, oh my God. I said, man, I just came out the restroom and I was like, I'm so glad they don't have that guy in this restroom. You know that guy who's like, when you go to the club in the restroom, who's like handing you paper towels, trying to Scottie Pippen you with the paper towels. Like I'm Michael Jordan with the peeing, dude. I've been peeing successfully for 30 years. I don't need an assist with this. Like, what are you doing? And then I'm like, ladies, no, I'm gonna show you how I changed it up though. But I'm like, ladies, I don't know if you know this, but in that bathroom, he has all these things on the counter to try to help guys get with girls, right? He has breath mints, he has dental floss, duct tape, condoms, chloroform, rope. Like, no, I don't want your I don't want your Bill Cosby sleepy time kit. I'm good. Like, that's what I say now. I used to say, I don't want your rape kit. And then one time somebody came up to me like, yeah, that joke was funny and stuff, but like the part like you said like rape, that like really wasn't cool. Like that wasn't cool. And I'm like, okay, all right. So now I changed it up a little bit. But
Cosby.
But I nobody wants your Bill Cosby sleepy time kit. And then I say, you know what he does that I hate the most though? He puts a tip jar in the middle, right? And then he puts a $20 bill in the tip jar, right? He wants me to think that somebody came in here, used the restroom, and tipped him $20. And I'm like, dude, if I give you $20, you need to wipe me or shake me off. I'm not giving you no whole 20. Like, now you can assist, but no, I pass you the ball. Literally, not as playing.
Oh my God.
Did you see how he just slipped that in there?
Yeah.
Like I told you.
But yeah, that's one I say. I changed it up. But yeah, so
look, man, I got a question. And this ain't a joke. This is a serious question. So, anyways, right. We're doing this after the presidential debate for anybody that's listening in 2020, the presidential debate. I saw your post on social media too. Oh my gosh.
Which one? I posted a couple.
The one. Hold on. We'll tell everybody how to follow him. We're gonna do that definitely.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I saw your post on social media about the Proud Boys.
What did I say?
Talking about you was flying in your stomach.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
stand back and stand out.
Yeah, if y'all want to see it, we're gonna tell y'all how to follow him after this. Go follow him, and you can see what I'm talking about. But I do have a question. So, it kind of
serious. This is a listener question.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you balance your jokes with the heaviness and seriousness of the current issues going on, and still be funny yet hopeful and not too offensive?
So, that's a good question. You got to live in your truth. So you got to be who you are, and who you are. And then someone who you are might offend people, and that's okay. Everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna think that you're funny, or everybody's not gonna think that because all comedy is offensive to start off with. So somebody somewhere will probably most likely be offended. So I look at it like that. Like, they killed Jesus. So who are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna like, come on, everybody's not gonna like you. But you just gotta live in your truth and just be who you are, and just tell it how you see it. Like, you know, Richard Pryor had jokes about police brutality. Red Fox have jokes about police brutality. You know, Richard Pryor had jokes about him lighting himself on fire. You know, that's tragic. But when you come from a place of experience, people can't say it's not fact. You get what I'm saying? You can have your opinions and stuff like that, but when somebody said, I experienced this, or this happened to me. And so with the current climate, it's just that's always kind of like been the case, always been happening. It's just now people have cameras and people have, you know, video. They can record and they can put it up and stuff like that. But, you know, if you're traveling and living life, you already know these things. You already seen. I mean, 92, that video of Rodney King that happened in 1992. You know, some random guy had a video camera. But if they didn't have a video camera, he would have just got beat up. He wouldn't have gotten the money, and he would have told his story, and it would have like infected like society, and that story would have been passed down and passed down and passed down. I mean, we all heard those type of stories. So the climate is always going to be there. It's just now everybody sees it. So you can't, and then people still want to laugh. So if people come to a comedy show, they want to laugh and have a good time. You don't want to be offensive. I try to stay away from political stuff just because the sometimes it's too easy, you know? It's just too easy. It's like, and then why do it if it's that easy? It's like low picking fruit. It's like, and then when you do it also, if you're trying to be in comedy, it just helps to be different. So if you go in there and you just say you got a Trump joke and 20 other people got a Trump joke, then you're just, you know, you're just kind of blending in. And then bookers, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear like the same jokes about, you know, Trump or Uber or Tinder, you know, all those type of things. Like we heard them, like, so I just try to set myself apart and just be different in the society, but also speak who I am and what my experiences are, and just come from my truth, and, you know, so.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. So comedy for you is fun. I think you've outlined that very well. Mm-hmm. Do you find comedy to be therapeutic for you as well? No. Okay.
No, people who say that are like, yeah, it's fun. It's just who doesn't want to have, if you can have fun and make money and live a good life and see the world, who doesn't? Like, that's how I see it. It's just fun. There's no, like, I tell my wife all the time, I really don't need people. Like, I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need to talk it out or anything like that. I just want to have fun. I want to make people smile, and I want to smile. So that's how I look at it.
See, I caught that. When you said that, I caught it just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's your thing, man. And we need people to do that. I think that's so important. And like, for you, it might not be therapeutic, but for someone else,
that's true.
It might be therapeutic to just kind of clear their mind and just laugh, you know. And then,
you know, I could agree with that. Yeah. That's why some people probably come to it, just want to laugh and just have a good time. And I mean, life is too short to be mad and miserable and hateful and just hate, and like that I don't get. Like, I try my hardest to understand people like that, but I really can't. You're gonna spend your only one God-given life hating something? Like, seriously? Like, what's, like, when people are like, oh my God, oh, this is wrong to be gay, and like they're running out the gay people. Like, if you're that interested in what gay people are doing, you know what? I think you're gay yourself. Like, why do you care what another man is doing. I have a hard enough time worrying about me and my package. Like, I don't worry about the next man, what he's doing with. No, I don't care. I don't care. I can't hate people I don't even know and all that stuff. Like, and everybody needs to just live their life. If more people like mind their business, this world would probably be like just a whole better place. Just treat people how you want to be treated, and just literally mind your business. If nobody's like hindering you for living your life to the fullest, you shouldn't care what they do with theirs. That's how I feel.
Oh man,
that
was like advice for 2020.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So this is what we gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna bring it back full circle, and for our listeners and anybody that's thinking about maybe pursuing something that they've been interested in, or like just had this wild dream that they wanted to do, because you said you did it.
Yeah.
But they're afraid, or they don't know how to do it, or they just might be insecure about what it is that they are interested in or dreaming of or want to do. Like, what would be your advice to them, having, like you said, just kind of cut ties and went after what you're doing right now?
I want to say it's a good time too, because everything with the internet and just everybody being accessible, you just have to put yourself around like-minded people, and kind of like, once you do that and you put yourself around those type of people, they kind of like pour into you, and it makes you want to go and do things. If you're stuck, or you live in, like, I don't know, a town of population 300, and that's all you see and that's all you do, that's just how you're going to think. You're going to live in that comfortable small town, and you probably want to do something, but then you're going to start thinking about it. You're going to see things on TV that influence you, and you'll be like, oh my God, how can I move here? It's going to be 10 times hard. I'm just okay at it, but you just have to do it. You just have to like find it within you just to do it. When I moved out, I went out to LA, but when I first started like getting into comedy, I would watch stuff like, I don't know, BT Comic View, and like see all these different comedians and Def Jam, and there was so many comedians, and they were from here and there, and they're so funny. And I'm like, I was like, man, I can't compete with them. I'm like, they're already there and they're already doing it. It's too many. It's a lot of black guys. Like, oh my gosh, I can't get into this. Like, I was trying to be the only one. It's like 20 of them, but this is going to be hard. But I used to look at that and get intimidated because they were funny. But you just got to be who you are. Just go and do it, man. If you put yourself around people who are constantly doing things and constantly moving in those directions, you can't help but move. So if you want to be a comedian, if you want to start a business, you got to put yourself around the same people that's doing those things, and ask them questions, and just reach out. I know with social media, you'll be surprised how many people respond back if you just ask them, like, how did you do this? Or how did you do that? Or do you have like a training? Or do you talk about this? Do you have a podcast about this? A lot. You can just listen to someone's podcast or listen to someone's book, and kind of that can be your outside. It can be your influence right there to make you say, no, I want to do that. And then also I look at it like this, like, you can live and do anything you want in this country because it's a McDonald's somewhere, right? Somebody works at McDonald's. And if they're able to survive in whatever city, surely you can figure out how to live in that city too. You'd be like, San Francisco, 1 bedroom, 2,500. They got a McDonald's. Somebody's making $7, and they're still there. So like, you can figure it out. So,
all right, let's do this for the people. Hey, where can they find you? How can they look you up? How can they follow you?
How can they watch you?
How can they watch you? Give
Listen.
them everything right now, and we'll also post this as
Okay.
well, so that they could just see it and copy it and paste it in.
Okay. Well, E.L. Smith Comedy. So that's everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, website elsmithcomedy.com. And it's got some videos up there. YouTube, E.L. Smith Comedy. It's a pattern. And I got a 30-minute special thing I did on Amazon. If you look up E.L. Smith, it should come up for that too as well. And I'm mostly active on Instagram. I'm on Facebook and Twitter sometimes, but mostly Instagram. So yeah, just look it up, man, and hit me up. Tell me you saw me somewhere. I add you. and I'll follow you. I won't be one of those people you follow me and I don't follow you back. Unless you only got like 3 followers and you following 2,000 people, then I'm not following you. So, but if you look halfway real, and I'll follow you back.
That's what's up. Well, before we go, hey man, if your daughter ever in the store, and she just taking Beats headphones or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Hook your boy up.
Girl.
If the people who listen don't know what I'm talking about, go look them up, go research them, and find out what I'm talking about. If she ever in the store taking anything, just hook your boy up. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think I tell that one anymore either.
Look at that, man. I guess I'm so outdated, man.
You got the old joke.
I got the old joke, but them was the ones like that. You know what? For you, EL, like I grew up, like with you. You know what I'm saying? Old jokes. I got the old jokes. You know.
Those are the old ones. But no. Yeah, she's like 10 now, so kind of hard to tell it, but.
Well, you got anything else, man?
That's it. I am excited that you got to stop by. I think that it's just really cool to see everything that you're doing and see everything you're accomplishing. Mm-hmm. And we're grateful that you came on to just tell a couple jokes that you didn't expect to tell and to just give us your journey. It's just been really cool to hear it and get to know you a little bit better. And for our audience, I think that you were able to be very motivational and inspirational. And so thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate you.
Dope. Thank you guys so much. And apologize for the other day when I couldn't do it because I was traveling. But
we know how the game is,
life.
Man. we get it, man.
We get it.
We appreciate you being on here.
We appreciate you.
And we'll have to link back up with you again. So since we did this, I'm telling everybody who's listening, I ain't paying for no tickets to the next show.
That's right.
Hold up.
We're going to call it out.
Whenever they do the show, wherever I got to be, I heard didn't he say he could sneak people in?
Yeah, we heard that.
I thought what I heard.
You got 2 more, I guess.
Hey, your wife, she get in first, but we coming right behind her. So when you sneak
I can get you in, man.
Sneak her in. Nah, but seriously though, you know me, I'll support you, man. So yeah. I pay it so that you can get yours. That's how I roll. That's how she roll. We don't do that. I pay. But now, if I do pay to get in at the end of the show, like I ain't paying to take no pictures now.
I don't do that, man. Get out.
Okay, I went to a comedy show, and I ain't gonna say that it was Lavelle Crawford. I ain't gonna say who it was. And I just tried to say what's up, and I couldn't even get up there without paying because people was paying to take pictures with him.
What, really?
At the Improv, and I want to say it was in Tampa.
They're paying what to take pictures with their phones, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just to go up there and stand with them, and then they friend take the picture, and then it was like 20. I think it was a dub or something. I was like, man, y'all tripping out here in these streets. I paid for the ticket to come in here to see you.
And you paid for the drink.
And I paid for the drink. Yeah, I had to get 2 of them things.
Yep, two drink minimum. That's why I'm like 2 waters, please.
All right. Well, until the next time.
We out.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
All right. See you guys.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. Don't go nowhere yet. That was our exit.
Okay.
You ain't got to go nowhere. That was how we sign off.
Okay. Good deal.
Hey, man, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we do.
This was good. I think people, because we've been going heavy for the last couple of episodes, because we've been going.
We've been going heavy for since June.
Yeah, was it George Floyd?
Yeah.
Since George Floyd, we've been going heavy with the diversity and inclusion stuff. So we wanted to lighten it up. I think you did that. We wanted to lighten it up. And let them know. I think she asked a question like, what's something that you can do because just that debate last night, man, I was just like, oh my gosh, that was just
I saw that. I saw bits and pieces of it. Bits and pieces of it. It was crazy. It's just, I don't know.
It's like
he's a character. He's
right. I'm like, you have so much material if you do Trump.
Yeah, he has. This is the thing with Donald Trump. Some people love him, love him, love him. I'm like,
they do. It's crazy.
And if you say anything, and sometimes those people are just at comedy shows, you don't even know until you say something, and you can quickly divide a room, and and then you got people blurting out things. So this is best to honestly just stay away from Donald Trump, like his stuff. And then it also it's kind of easy too when he says certain things. You just look at his Twitter and like just go off that, and it's just
it's true.
He's brought like America like up here. Like when he leaves, like everybody's gonna have gray hair. Everybody's gonna look like they did 4 terms.
It's true.
That's funny. I
like,
never
I'm
thought about that because he be stressing everybody out.
Yeah, and it's gonna be funny because once he's over and done with, whoever is like president after him, it's just gonna go back to being regular politics, and like people, it's not gonna be any more Twitter and none of this craziness. This is gonna be like gonna like dial it back down to like regular.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get reelected because Americans and the media specifically love the drama.
They love the rhetoric.
There's
man.
if he's not in office, it's like a
it's gonna be boring
news cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is too. Because people don't love. People like Joe Biden, but nobody's flying a Joe Biden flag and willing to fight you over Joe Biden and go all crazy over Joe Biden. Nobody's gonna wear a Joe Biden hat and walk into Walmart with no mask. You get what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna do that. Mm-hmm. But people would do that for him in a heartbeat. They'll put themselves and their life in risk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like anybody that much. Like I couldn't, and I try to take my mindset there. Like that's how I write jokes. Like I try to look at the whole picture, and I was like, if Obama really did all that, would I really still be like Obama? Like, no, I wouldn't. Like. No, and he lies a lot. Not even a little bit. He just
a lot.
And I knew a guy who act like, oh my God, I knew a guy who act just like him. And it drives me crazy because that guy was just so full of shit. That guy
Trump is one thing, but I'm like, even with his followers you
man,
have so much material.
They die hard, man.
With his followers, I'll watch like it might be Trevor Noah. It's a Daily Show. I don't know. Like they'll send somebody out to like interview the people, and I live for those videos because I'm like, this is hilarious. Like they're so.
Yeah, like why are they? It's like, oh my gosh, and then he's an opportunist more than anything. Yeah. People like to say like,
"We don't care about you."
he's a racist. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. Like he's not really like he doesn't care. Like he has Ben Carson, he has Omarosa. He doesn't dislike. Now, if you portray yourself to be better than him or something like that, then he probably has a problem with you, like he has with Obama because of that. Because Obama seems to be better, and then Obama, roast him at that dinner that time. So
yeah, roasted.
Boy, so they still show that picture of him. You can tell he's fuming. I told my wife, I said, when he got in the car, he let loose with that N-word. Like he just went off. He was probably like, I'm gonna show this. And then Seth Meyers talked about him bad too. And he's like, yeah. So I think he's more of an opportunity. He knows those type of people will vote for him if he says certain things. And then that's why he says it. Because if he can get the majority of like, let's say for instance, for example, if he was looking for like all the black vote, I wouldn't put it past him to say things that black people wanted to hear so people will vote for him. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like he'll be on the side of Black Lives Matters if he knew that would help him win. So that's why I don't see why people can't see through that. Like, he's not even really one of you. He's just using you to like rile you up and get you to vote for him.
Well, I'm like, I don't understand why people don't see this because he has never been in anybody else's shoes in America ever. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been in obviously like a black American shoes. He hasn't been in like a white American shoes. He hasn't been in anybody's shoes because he's had so much money. It doesn't matter. Like he can do what he wants to do. There's no consequence.
And that's part of the problem why he acts the way he acts.
Yeah, that's true. And there's no consequences.
He never had to face any type of consequence whatsoever. And he used to be a Democrat. So he's really not, but he's just saying.
No, 2011.
He's just saying what people want to hear, certain people want to hear, so they'll vote for him. But he never had to answer anything. That's when you heard that Hollywood Access tape. Mm-hmm. And it's funny. That stuff gets me crazy because they try to play this mind game with you. Like, oh, this is locker room talk. He's not a bad guy. I'm like, whatever. If Obama said something like that, they would have found a way to ship Obama to Africa, and then 10 other black people didn't even know him would have went. They would have just found a way to get him rid of him.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump can say like, oh, it's just
locker room talk.
I heard
telling him, I'm like, it's not even. It's literally everything he says is to get his base excited. That's all. He doesn't even believe everything he says. Like, he's friends with the Clintons. Like, he was a Democrat not that long ago, literally like 8 years ago. Like, he doesn't care about anything except himself. I was like, everything he says, he does to get his base excited, or because he knows that's what they want to hear, and that's what's going to get him reelected. He doesn't care about. Well, he might care about white supremacists, but he doesn't care about white supremacist groups. Like,
I don't think he does. No, I don't think.
No, he's like, I don't care about you.
It's funny too, because they go hard for him, man, and it's like when he didn't denounce it on TV, that stand down and stand back. That was the funniest thing.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. And they're like, and he's like, I don't even care about you.
I mean, he know, like you said, his people, and he know the numbers. And he knew by doing that, he keep them on his side for when it's time to vote. Them Second Amendment people, the white supremacists, like he know, like they run. Yeah. They got a large following, man, and he like, I know I got them good with that.
Yeah, that's why he caters to, because it's a large amount of people, and they make up a lot of numbers, and you can tell they make up a lot of numbers. I was telling somebody the other day, like when that thing happened in Las Vegas, when that dude killed 56 people in Las Vegas at a country music concert. Nevertheless, I like, all right, surely they're gonna do something about these guns, and they did absolutely nothing. And I was like, if they didn't do anything about that, what you think they care about you? No. Not if they didn't even stop that from happening.
At a country music concert.
At a country music concert, they let that go through. I'm like, I'm gonna stay inside because that's already letting you know. I already let you know right there. Like,
it wasn't even like a reggae concert. It was like a country music.
Yeah, and they, Australia hasn't had like a mass shooting since forever. Like since they had one, because they passed like sensible gun laws. You don't need. I mean, this is America, because you're not gonna stop people from owning guns in America. That's just not gonna happen. But you don't need no AK-47 with 300 rounds. Like, you're not Scarface. It's not no mercenaries outside your house. Like, really? If you Scarface, you got cocaine, then maybe. But if you work at Trader Joe's, you don't need an AK-47. Like, you don't need it. Nobody wants your discount, buddy. Like, you don't need it. But I don't know. America plays this weird game with people. Like, Neil Brennan, like, he used to write for Dave Chappelle and stuff. He had he said he used to talk with this guy to South Africa. South Africa is where apartheid happened and all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And he said he would talk to black people in South Africa. You guys know who Neil Brennan is, right?
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
He said he would talk to black guys in South Africa, and they had so much less anxiety because he was like, in South Africa, they just tell you they don't like you. They just tell you flat out, like, I don't like you. In America, they play some weird game. Like, oh man, that was racism. I'm like, what are you talking about, buddy? What he shouldn't have had his back turned. And then you have the same story, and they're like, well, that 17-year-old, he was a hero, man. He was just protecting his neighbor. It's like the same thing. They're like, what racism? What are you talking about? You're crazy. You're crazy. It's nothing going on here. Like, are you serious? Like, what do you think? Like, Trayvon Martin, like, no, it's not. No, this guy was just defending himself. A grown man following a 17-year-old kid, and he ends up like, no, he's just defending himself. But if the tables were turned, it'd be like, these young thugs, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a mind game that they play with you. And it gets you like, I'd rather have you just be like, I have more respect for people who fly like the Confederate flag and has the pickup truck with the gun rack in the back. Because at least he lets me know who he is. Like, he lets me know. I don't need to have a conversation with him. I don't need to be around him. It's the people who like shake your hand and smile and then they turn around and just stab you. Like, right in the back. Those are the worst people. Just be who you are if that's what you want to be. But that sneaky stuff, that, like, it's like the Twilight Zone. Like, what are you talking about? What is I don't know why I didn't hire Tyrone. Like, I don't. Like, let's stop it. So it's just, that's the people I don't but
yeah,
because you're not gonna change everybody's mind.
No.
All you can do is just be the best version of yourself, and just treat people how you personally want to be treated, and just go from there. I tell people all the time, everybody's not going to heaven, so I don't know why you're trying. Like, and everybody went to heaven, it'd be too much traffic anyway, and then it wouldn't be heaven. So who would want to? I don't know. In heaven, I don't know, man. Maybe they serve like CBD oil and White Claw. I don't know. I need hard liquor and stuff.
right.
All you guys got is White Claw, really? That's nothing else. All right, no IPAs. All right. I had to drink like 8 of those. No, okay.
Oh
No.
man.
Oh, that's my 2 cents.
Oh man.
Oh, we got to stick that somewhere in the episode.
Yeah, we might use that a little.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna use that.
No, you're good. Yeah, but these are crazy times, man. It's crazy times, and that George Floyd thing was bad. I think the whole 2020 is bad though. Just the whole. It started with Kobe Bryant, and it just kind of like.
I couldn't believe that, man.
Man.
You couldn't believe it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like, I told her, I was like, oh man, they out here playing games, man. I'm like TMZ out here tripping today.
Yeah, that was bad.
And it happened like 2 cities up from where I live.
Oh,
and so it's like, and in LA, oh my gosh, that mess had me crazy because they did it at the Staples Center downtown, and they interviewed this one guy, this German guy. He had on a Kobe Bryant jersey, and then he had like the little arm braces because I guess he had, his legs wasn't strong, and he had a German accent. He's like, I don't even know anyone here, but Kobe, he told me to always do my best. So I just came, I bought a plane ticket, and I don't know anyone here, and people are showing me love. And I was like, oh my, this is crazy.
Kids play Baby Shark in 2019, and that Baby Shark is actually a portal to hell.
Somebody said that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember who. But I believe it because it is the worst song ever.
I think this was just a build up from 2000. You remember 2000, the world was supposed to end and all of
the build up.
Yeah, this was the build up. It took 20 years.
Oh my God. Yeah, this year's been.
It's been rough.
Yeah. Did you guys, I don't know in there, did you guys do a couple of, I did like 3, I went to 3 protests. So those were pretty good. I did those. It just jumped in my head. I did them out here in LA, which was pretty. Well, when I was in LA, they were pretty cool. I did one downtown, and I did one in Hollywood, which is pretty good. So the one in Hollywood, who showed up? YG showed up, and got on top of a truck and played his Donald Trump song, and he was filming the crowd saying "F Donald Trump." I think he's gonna put it like in a video. Yeah, and then that was the one in Hollywood. The one downtown was like the most beautiful thing I ever saw in my life. Like, it was so many people, and there was so many different types of people. Like, and they had their signs out. They were like Asians for Black Lives Matter, and then people, like, they had cars in the middle, and people were passing out like bottled waters and like snacks and stuff like that. And somebody was burning like sage. It was like, then somebody had like a shopping cart with a speaker in it, and they were playing Tupac. I was like, oh my gosh, this is.
Yeah, you live in a different world, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, we in Tallahassee, man.
No.
This is nice.
Florida, our governor just tried to. Yeah,
you're gonna come bail me out, man.
Literally, he passed laws.
Really?
So
he's trying to pass laws.
Oh, he's trying to pass laws so that if you are protesting
and get arrested,
it's a felony.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it he put it out there. Obviously, it takes a process for it to get voted on and passed and stuff, but that was what he put forward.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. And they sit there and say, oh no, what are you talking about, man? Like, no, you know purposely what you're trying to do. Like,
trying to take away our democracy.
It's just people just want equality. That's all at the end of the day. Like, everybody just want to be treated the same. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody just wants the same handshake, So if you do something, if you do a crime, that person should get the same amount of time. You shouldn't, like, I read a story where his mother, she went to jail for X amount of years because she changed the address. So her kids can go to a better school. But then you have Becky from Full House who paid $250,000, and then she gets to pick what prison she goes to. Like,
Yeah.
Come on. What are you doing? And then like the guy Brock Turner? That he got like 6 months. So he got probation. He didn't go to jail.
Yeah, it was light. Whatever it was light.
And I'm like, that's why people are upset. And that's why, because nobody's being treated equally. And then I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I don't think it's like a police almost problem. I think it's like systemic racism, like embedded into everything. And just police officers, it just happens to be a dangerous job, and that job just happens to require a gun. So when like systemic racism shows its head into that part, it's blowed up because people can lose their lives. But I mean, I was never harassed or like treated bad by a police officer. I got tickets before, I speed before, gave them an attitude. But have I been following around inside a grocery store? Yeah, I have. Stuff like that. Like, have people asked me weird, semi-racist questions before? Yeah, that's happened before. But see, so I think it's like embedded inside just this whole mindset. So, but again, treat people how you want to. It sounds cliche, but you only get one life. Why are you spending it hating people, or just hating people who want what you just want to be equal like you? Like, if gay people want to get married, let them get married. They're like, it has nothing to do with you. If a woman wants to do something with her body, it is her body. Why is that such a big deal? Like, that's so hard to like comprehend. Like, that's her body. It takes two people to make a kid in the first place. So how you like putting her down? It was some guy somewhere. You get what I'm saying? But you trying to make like, no. And it's her body. It's just her that has to bear it. You know what I'm saying? If a woman says childbirth hurts, I'm gonna tend to believe her, and I don't have to walk in her shoes. You know what I'm saying? Because she went through that. She's telling me it's real and it hurts.
Yep.
Then I'm taking her. Like, so if people say, "Hey, man, this is happening. This is racist," then you should, like, they know, like, it's experience. There's no opinion. You can't like discredit people's experience in life. So if I experienced being followed around inside a grocery store, not a convenience store, a 25-aisle grocery store, being followed. Like, I'm gonna walk out of here with some frozen peas under my shirt. Like, what are you doing? Like, I can't hold down a 25-aisle grocery store with I'm one person. Like, if I can do that, I'm a superhero. Like, why are you following me inside this grocery store, man? And that happened in North Carolina. But I digress. But yeah, man, people are just tired of not being treated fairly. Nobody wants to be treated better than. Everybody just wants to be treated, just have start at the same finish line. I mean, start at the same starting line. So
yeah. I was telling her today, and then we'll let you go.
Oh,
I was about to say, I don't want to keep you too long, because you back North Carolina. You back on the Eastern time now. You got that time thing going on. Okay. I said that because it's a lot later than what you actually used to right now, ain't it?
Yeah, it'll be 7 something over there.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I get up early anyway, man. I get up like 6 o'clock, 5:30 sometimes because of my job and stuff and like that. Plus, I just want to just get up and take use of the day. So
I feel you. Yeah. I don't even know what I was about to say. I don't know.
You said something about the time and.
Yeah. Nah, I know we talk a lot about. Oh yeah. We talked about it today about how I hear the stories from like my uncles and my great grandparents and my grandmother and even my mom and dad, them who grew up in the 60s, and they just like, man, y'all will never know what we went through. Da 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 da. And I'm like, you know what? I think we understand it a little bit.
You understand? I mean, I like history, so I take a note to like know just all history just in general, and like I can read a book or I can see a documentary, and my mind can actually take me to that time and that place, and I can feel that kind of emotion with it. So like when my grandfather told us stories, like he was born in Georgia and he moved to South Florida, West Palm Beach, because they were paying 75 cents versus 25 cents, and his parents were like sharecroppers, and they made him drop out of school like at, as soon as he can count to 100, he had to drop out and help them. But when he grew up, he had his kids and he moved to Florida, but he had to leave in the middle of the night, even though because he was a sharecropper, so he was on the same land, but he had to leave. He told us he had to leave in the middle of the night, like he couldn't leave during the day because they wouldn't let him leave. So he had to leave in the middle of the night, and he would tell us stories about being in West Palm and somebody was walking down the sidewalk. He had to put his head down and walk in the grass. He couldn't look up, make eye contact, and just to think about that, if he even did those things, I probably wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? If he just said something, I wouldn't be here. And then he would tell us that he used to like whoop, spank my mom and her sisters and stuff. Like if he caught them drinking out of a white water fountain, and he would tell us he would like spank them because he knew if they got caught, it was nothing he can do to like stop whatever is going to happen. And even after all that, I don't think not once ever in his life he said to hate anybody though.
Wow.
He never said hate. He said be careful. He said be careful of your surroundings and be careful who you talk to and stuff like that, and go to school. He always wanted us to go to school, and he pushed that hard, but he never said like hate anybody though at all. Like, so I just, yeah. So, but yeah, those people have those stories. They have those stories. They have those stories that's passed down from person to person, and they keep them inside and they keep them bottled up. And there's so many injustices that's been done to people. So when they see an opportunity to like rise up, all that anger and resentment is just builds. It's sitting there for his moment. Because you got to think, if they didn't film that George Floyd thing, nothing would have happened. Nothing would have. They didn't film, they didn't film these things. You wouldn't know about it, and nothing would happen. Like D.L. Hughley has a joke, Kings of Comedy. He said, I don't know, I forgot the guy's name, but he said a guy was walking away from the police, and he picked his wallet up from the ground, and they said they thought it was a gun. They shot him 42 times. And like, you don't even know his name, but that happened. That happened to somebody for real. And you got to think, nothing probably ever happened to those police officers. So that story is like infected, and there's resentment, and it's passed down from people because people tell those stories, and they just get passed along. Because right now, if you don't have any video camera, a video proof against a police officer, it's pretty much, and even when you do, they still play some type of mind game. Like they literally had a camera of people beating up Rodney King with sticks, like beating him, and somehow they still got off. Like, how can you justify what people see with their own eyes? So when you see that, and then don't sit there and say, why are people upset? Like, why are people burning down? I hate when they say, oh, they're burning down their own communities. They don't even own any of those buildings. Like, they don't own anything there. Like, I mean, I don't think people should burn things down, but if you keep playing this game, then people are going to be upset. At least be honest. At least be just straight up honest with people. And then, we can work on that. But if you play this like, what are you talking about? That game, like, it just infuriates people. But I would say now in 2020 though, the people who are out now, like protesters and saying anything, like it's like everybody though. There's so many. It's really
very diverse groups.
It's very diverse. It's very beautiful. It's very like I was in downtown LA, and I kid you not, I looked around a couple of times. I was like the only black person. Yeah, like, and then I was debating about going to protest or not even protesting. One time I parked my car and I got out my car, and these two white guys, I guess they just came from protest, so they had their little signs up and stuff like that. They had the signs in their hand. They're walking past me, and they were on the other side of the sidewalk. And I don't even know these guys. They made eye contact with me, and they just held up the fist. And I was like, I felt like I was like, all right, man. I appreciate you. So it was really dope, and none of it was like crazy or violent. I mean, I left at 7:00, but I left before it got dark. But none of it was like violent or crazy, or just like a lot of people just wanting to do like what's right. And I think at the end of the day, and I like to think of myself as somebody who will always do what's right. Like, not even if it like it's not about me or not or something like that. Just like, I think a woman should get paid the same amount of a man if she does the same as that job. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to be a woman to know what's right and wrong. And I think at the end of the day, I think everybody deep down inside knows what's right, and just people just choose to do wrong because everybody knows what's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't have to be a woman to know that, right? I don't have to be gay to know that these people should live their own life. I know what's right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.